Art is too important not to share. Welcome to the Allie and Callie Artcast.
Hi, I'm Allie.
And I'm Callie, and we're with the Coeur d'Alene Arts and Culture Alliance. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. I'm still tan.
You are still tan. So am I. Well, that's because we're still tanning.
That's right.
We got to get ready for the speakeasy.
That's right. It's coming up June 16th.
So if you haven't got your tickets, we're hoping it's already sold out by now.
Right.
But anyway, that's going to be a fun night.
It is going to be a fun
night. It's for the Arts and Culture Alliance
and the Museum of North Idaho.
North Idaho. Exactly. So we've got our dresses.
Yep.
And we're
going to be able to see mine now.
Yeah. That's why we're tanning. Anyway,
right.
It's just fun. It's fun to do.
Yeah. And then we saw these cute little baby ducks at Bardney.
Yes. Again. Adorable.
Oh, yeah.
But we don't need any ducks. We have enough bunnies.
Yeah. You have enough bunnies, that's for sure. And if we're
going to
get those ducks home, I'm pretty sure my 2 dogs would eat them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would be very sad because they were cute little ducklings.
They would be.
Yeah.
Cute. Anyway. We're sidetracked.
Oh, as usual.
As always. But we are so excited to have 3 guests today.
3. I know. I hope we can.
Is this a record? No, we've had 3 before.
Have we?
The Rub.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's been a while, so we're very excited to have Jessica, say the last name.
Mahuron.
And we have Kimber London and Sam
Koestner.
No. Wrong. Say it, Sam.
Sam Koestner.
I was afraid I was going to say Keister, and that's why I went too far the other way.
We even practiced, and we still messed it up. Anyway, welcome. They're from the North Idaho Pride Alliance, and we are so happy to have you here with us. And tell us a little bit about what you do and who you are and where you're from. And
we'll start with Jessica.
Yes. There we go.
Well, North Idaho Pride Alliance, what we are is a grassroots volunteer organization of LGBTQ people, community groups, and allies working together to create a more inclusive North Idaho. And we do that through educating, advocating, and networking. And we organize events year round. We definitely, take action when needed in our community, and we build meaningful relationships and collaborate with other partners to help meet the needs that are in our community.
I love that.
It's so needed.
It's very, especially right now.
Absolutely.
In this weird climate that we're in.
Exactly.
Yeah. I see that you have also been, you've been pretty involved in community efforts for a long time, because you were also involved with another organization before North Idaho Pride.
Yeah, I guess what you would call me is a community organizer, and so I have been doing that for several years. I really kind of had my first big effort was the Medicaid expansion ballot initiative that I was the local leader of and was part of the statewide team, which I am proud to say now over 100,000 people now have access to health care because of those efforts by thousands across Idaho. So that was a huge
That's amazing.
effort, and it was definitely a tale of David and Goliath. And, I had to tell my team, it's like the little engine that could. We think we can until we make it, because it was thought to be impossible. And I also, from there, I worked at Gizmo CDA, and they were doing their first ever Maker Fair, which was also, there was a lot of skepticism. Is this going to really happen? And we somehow pulled it off, and with a huge success. I've also, of course, do the Civic Engagement Alliance and have done several different community efforts with that as well. But I've been with the Pride Alliance proudly for over 2.5 years now, and I love this team. I love the people that are connected to Pride, and I love the work and progress that we're making in the community.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's great. Yay.
And Sam, what's your role?
Yeah, so I am actually the board president for the organization. And I've been recently elected, probably it was last summer, so still kind of new to the role. I just joined the board in January 21, so it's all super new, and I've only been in it for a year and a half, basically, so
And why did you decide to join?
I thought it was important to get involved in my local community. I used to work at the University of Idaho down in Moscow, where I worked there for 4 years after I graduated. So kind of stuck around, but I got involved down there with their organization in Oasis, and it was good to get involved and to meet other people and kind of build that family. And so then I moved up here with my husband, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, are there other people or anything? And I had been following the North Idaho Pride Alliance for a while on social media. And I grew up here too in Liberty Lake, so I was familiar with the area. And then, I just decided to jump in when they asked for new directors for their board.
Good for you.
I know, stepping
Yay.
up. I love it. That's great. All right, it's up to you, Kimber.
Yeah, so thanks for having us today. I am new to the board as well, as of about 2 months, and it looks like my role will be in education, which is super exciting to me because that's a bit of my background as well. I'm a writer, but also have worked in schools with kids and arts programs and things like this. So we're talking about all that and just bringing that to Coeur d'Alene, where a lot of education I think is clearly needed. And not just education, but communication, which I always want to facilitate those discussions with people, because I think we're not as different as we think. And we have these ideas that get in the way of love. And when you just talk to someone, you can really meet them on their level. So I guess I ended up in Coeur d'Alene sort of because of the pandemic, and like so many from California, found myself here, which, there is that stigma, but a lot of folks here are just, there's just something special in Coeur d'Alene, I think. A lot of people know, as I see your little tattoo on your wrist there. There's something special here, and I'm Pacific Northwest grown in Seattle, but I do acting and modeling, so I was in LA. That's where the work has been, and I shaved my head about 10 years ago, and so I started getting traction for work through that, and then got represented in Los Angeles and started booking jobs as a non-binary model. So this has been something that's been recent, but it's really great to see advertising going that way. So I still work in LA. I'm represented. I'm sort of between there and here, but when I'm here, I'm so excited to be involved with North Idaho Pride Alliance, and I met everybody last year through Pride season. And my first story I covered was Pride in the Park last year for the Coeur d'Alene Press, because I was writing for them at the time.
Oh, wow.
And I found this cool group out here doing this thing, and there was no protesting, there was nothing. It was just amazing. And of course it was after that incident with, I think, the school counselor at that time. So I was able to write an article and shine the light and then get connected, and here we are.
Wow.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is great. Wow.
Yeah.
That is, the Pride in the Park is on what day?
It's tomorrow.
It is tomorrow.
Yeah.
At what time does it start?
10 a.m.
10 a.m.
It goes until 3.
Till 3. And what can they see there and do? And what is it all about? I've never been.
Oh, there's so many wonderful things. Well, we have a whole stage lineup of local performers.
Oh, fun.
Yes, some of them probably this organization is aware of, many of them being representative of the LGBTQ community. We also have a drag artist that will be performing as well in the last hour. Wonderful MC. We will also have lots of different activities. So we were very fortunate to be awarded a Project Neighborly grant through the Idaho Community Foundation, and that's going to allow us to do 3 different activities. There's a Pride Stride that starts at 10:30 a.m. at the picnic shelter, which will be the hub of a lot of activities, and people just get to walk around. It's a fitness walk and wave a little progress flag. There's going to be a Say Pride photo booth where people can come visit all day long. We have a wonderful little Polaroid camera, so people will be able to have keepsakes. And then also we have a Color Kindness chalk art challenge, where all day long people will be able to draw messages of love, compassion, kindness, inclusion, and take photographs of it so we can spread that kindness throughout our community. And of course, our other partners, such as Heritage Health, is going to have lots of yard games. We're going to have board games. We're going to have, I know, the Mountain Early Head Start group. They're going to have bubble wands. They're just so much fun. Printmaking, lots of arts, lots of crafts, button making.
Fun.
So this is meant to be more of a kind of a family-friendly, engaging activity. But then we also have, my goodness, like 70 different partners, including the Arts and Culture Alliance.
That's right.
That are going to be at the event. So people get to connect with all of these different wonderful resources and partners in our community. And we'll have lots of handmade goods that are for sale. I mean, it's just going to be a wonderful time. And it always
sounds like a great time.
Yes.
Yeah, I've never been before either. We'll be there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very excited.
Tell us a little bit about what the Pride Alliance does in the community on a regular basis.
Yeah, so on a regular basis, NIPA does a lot of advocacy work and events, and we create a lot of safe spaces for people to gather, people to talk, network, but also just having a presence together is really important for mental health, everything, making friends and everything. So that's a lot of what we do. It's just bringing people together in safe spaces.
That's good.
That's
Connecting
a great thing.
to resources is huge too, and that's where the networking really comes in. So making sure that people, if they're looking for a therapist, if they're looking for, a barber, they're looking for all these things that we, are making those connections. We have our online resource guides, and we're directly connecting people, to those resources in the community.
It's good so they don't feel alone, especially some of our younger kids that are really struggling and not feeling accepted. It's great that there is a place like the North Pride Alliance that gives kids a place to feel safe and to maybe, have those resources to, feel welcome. And hopefully we can get a community a little more welcoming to everyone.
Exactly.
Hey y'all, it's Jason from Tubbs Coffee Roasters. We are North Idaho's specialty coffee roaster. We are homegrown and we are local. We love coffee and we love our community, especially Allie and Callie and ArtCast. We have a retail space in our roastery in Hayden, and we can also be found on the shelves at Super One and Yokes. And if you like to buy coffee online, we do offer subscriptions. You can find us at tubbscoffeeroasters.com. Support arts and culture and your local roaster. That's all.
So I know that Julie Stratton used to be the president of North Idaho Pride Alliance. NIPA? Is that what you call it?
Yes, NIPA.
And I love Julie. She's awesome. She does Tai Chi. She came out to one of our women's retreats and did Tai Chi with us out in the woods. It was really cool.
It was awesome. Yes.
It was so fun.
Yeah.
Love to do that again. But why don't you tell us a little bit about how NIPA started?
So from what I understand, Julie, she lived in Chicago. So that's where she went to college. There was a very thriving pride scene there. And then she and her wife had moved to North Idaho. Her wife, Amy, was a doctor at the time at Kootenai Health. And really, there really was nothing here. There was no pride organization, nothing. And I do know one of the biggest catalysts, it started actually with a PFLAG chapter, and that's parents and friends of gays and lesbians. And so that's where it started, which is more a support group. And it evolved. She was very close with her mother, Ruth, and basically it was Julie and Ruth Ann who formed the 501c3, the nonprofit, and served on the board of directors. And then also Father Pat Bell from St. Luke's, at the time was the pastor of St. Luke's Episcopal Church, who was actually the first president of the board. There was the Orlando Pulse nightclub shooting that had occurred, and this really galvanized a lot of people in the community wanting to do something, and they had organized a vigil, at the Human Rights Education Institute. So those were some of the early days. I know Pride in the Park, I think the very first one took place, and that was 6 years ago at Geopiphany Park. So that park has a lot of special meaning to the organization, and it really grew over time. 2018, 2019, huge events, and obviously COVID, we couldn't do the big Pride in the Park, but we got very creative and still hosted many other events, either virtual or in person, smaller. And so this is the comeback, like the big comeback, year for Pride in the Park that so many people from across the inland Northwest, have enjoyed.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And it's going to be in City Park?
In Coeur d'Alene City Park,
right.
Band show.
And I know that HREI and Jeanette Laster, the Human Rights Education Institute, and Jeanette have been really supportive of North Idaho Pride Alliance.
Oh, me and Jeanette are like this.
Yeah.
I'm the only staff person for Pride Alliance, but she's the closest I have to a coworker besides my board of directors.
Yeah, right.
So yes. I'm, hugely supportive, especially over this last year, and we could not, definitely do our work without that wonderful partnership that we have with HREI.
Right. So when NIPA started, Julie and Father Bill, it was mostly just started to be a connection center, and then it's grown from there.
Well, there was a lot of great events that had happened. There was a wonderful event called Unity in the Community, and that was a big pizza feed or spaghetti feed that members of the community would serve others, and that took place at St. Luke's. Julie was an amazing trainer and educator and did many different educational sessions or doing documentaries, and built, tons of relationships. One key relationship, is Mountain Madness Soap Company. Very early supporter, or Art Spirit Gallery, always Blair, over there has always been a space. So, and then all of the networks with Spokane and in Boise. So a huge network was created to meet the needs. But Pride Month was always the crown jewel, and there was gathering of resources as well. We pretty much have, still stayed in the same. The mission statement has stayed the same. We have a huge, expanded board of directors, and I think there's a lot on the horizon. But definitely the heart of it, which was always live, love, be united. That is the motto of North Idaho Pride Alliance.
That's a good motto.
And that is our guiding, philosophy and how we interact in the community. We are all about positivity and love, and I know it gets tough here in North Idaho. A lot of people there's a Pride Alliance in North Idaho. Really? Yes, there is. And I think we give people a lot of hope. And we're going to shine bright regardless.
I love that. And I love your positive attitude about that, too.
It's live, love,
be united.
Be united.
So, Kimber, going to the education, what do you have in mind? What are your plans for, I assume that you're going to try to go into the schools?
I've got so many ideas. That's never been a shortcoming of mine.
That's good.
It'll be fun to discuss what we're going to do moving forward. We've stepped our foot in the waters towards the trans and more non-binary members of our community. So having a focus there, I think, is important to us, as well as, yes, having resources with the schools, but also kind of just operating a part that, people can come to us as well as a known resource. But I'm really interested in facilitating in person and even, virtual as well for folks who want to have that option, but connecting events, that have panels. For instance, I'm going to be on the panel of one of our events called Queer Resilience. It's on June 7th, which is a Tuesday night. It's going to be down at Kimmel Corporation, and we're just going to answer questions about, what it looks like to be queer in North Idaho, because the truth of the matter is a lot of people feel they have to leave this area, and they cannot be queer here, and they do not feel open or safe even,
Right.
Many folks at this time are questioning, should I bring my kids to Pride in the Park? And that's a really, hard thing to kind of reconcile, because, that's what we have to realize is the deal in this area. And coming from LA, it's like, oh, I'm so used to just no
go
one bats an
anywhere.
eye.
Yeah.
I have a shaved head. That's the least exciting thing they've seen all day.
Right.
And here it's quite the opposite. And but also there's so many amazing people here, and just as far as education goes, I think it's really important with the library too. I know we're partnering with them, and they're so great. But, just as a child who was and has always been non-binary but didn't know it, having resources like groups or, I'm interested in kids camps for sure, just facilitate, from the arts and things, but also having those books, that are being pulled out of these schools. It's like, I had a conversation with the Lady of Liberty the other day, this group, I think it's a little more patriot, and I don't know, I've never been, but we were able to have a really great conversation. She's like, oh, I don't want kids getting access to immoral literature. And I said to her, look, I wish I had access to that literature. It's not immoral. It's letting kids know that there's not something wrong with you. This is a normal thing. Other people go through this. You don't need to struggle, suffer, and, harm yourself or feel like you're different and, that you're unloved. And that's never what we want. So I think it's really great that North Idaho Pride Alliance is taking a stance, and we're doing the banned books event too, which is going to be on June 15th.
And a book giveaway too.
Good. So if you want to go buy some of those books, we would love it. We're all these things are sent to tear us down. We've got more donations than ever. People are signing up. People are realizing we're out there. So it's a big backlash. And
I love to see that. I love to see that happen, because I think that the biggest problem is fear. People are afraid, and they don't understand.
Exactly, they don't understand, and some people are stuck in the mud and they're afraid to learn. And then there are some people that it takes them a long time to learn the new vocabulary and what is appropriate to say. Non-binary, binary. That is hard for someone who's closer to my age, where I'm still trying to get.
It's hard for everyone. So you know.
I'm like, I know the they, them, and that is hard for me.
Is that what I don't even know what non-binary is.
See, that's one of those things. Yeah. Let's ask one question.
Yes.
Explain
non-binary.
Okay, so non-binary, first of all, just a general definition. It's by definition not binary, right? So binary refers to the binary gender, male, female. Okay, so at the basis of that definition, it's just I don't subscribe to male, female. On a pronoun perspective, she didn't feel right to me after so many years, and he definitely didn't feel right to me, so they was somewhere in between. I tried Z, I tried some different ones. Sounded a little too German. Not that I have anything against that, but it just didn't fit. So for now, they,
Z German girl.
Z is coming over here. Z. Like what? Yeah. Ooh, Z, what? So, yeah. But everyone has their own definition within that. What is being non-binary to me, may be different to another
Someone
person.
Else.
And I'm an open book, but something we try to be really respectful is some people may not be, because there's so many traumas and triggers there, and you can feel like you're being dissected. I may just start a gender consulting firm, because a lot of
I think that'd be great.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people want to know these things. They don't want to say the wrong thing. They don't want to be offensive.
Exactly.
They want to ask the question. So yeah, we encourage that, and yeah, it's really just important, I think, to talk and to ask questions. But yeah, from where I'm coming from,
I think what's hard for some people, like, let's just say my dad, he's not listening. It's the parents. It's when you say they, he's like, it's just one person. How can they be a they? It's really hard to explain.
English has a singular they, so, going back to that, we might say, I went to the drive-thru and they forgot to put fries in my bag, or whatever. So you're saying it all the time.
That's
true. Then when you think of it, my friend goes, I love they. I'm like, you can just say I love you to me. Like, you don't have to say that. It's kind of funny. But yeah, it does throw people off. If you are talking about a plural subject, and you're talking about someone non-binary, it can be a little confusing. Yeah.
You'll have to pick up one of our free bookmarks that we have that has a simple pronoun guide. Yeah, they'll be at Pride in the Park in our Banned Books and Erasing Lies panel. So pick that up, and that hopefully will make it easier for a lot of people.
I'll give that to my dad.
Oh, there you go.
He'll love it.
I know. I feel a little ignorant on the subject.
Love is love, right?
That's exactly right.
One of my favorite stories, I know. I'll go sidetrack just a little bit. Just talking about my dad. I did Godspell many years ago, when I was in my 20s, so 40 years ago.
Great program.
Oh my God, so fun. And I did it all summer. And my dad said, oh my God, that was the best show, And I had to finally go, this was in college. And I said, Dad, and he says, that God, Jesus, God, he was good. I said, yeah, Dad, and he was gay. God is gay. And he's like, no, he was so good. I'm like, yeah, he's good. God is good. God is gay. He just about.
Oh, that's hilarious.
God is good.
I love
God
it.
is gay. I was like, anyway, sidetracked.
Well,
Sorry.
God is non-binary technically, if you think about it, because
Right.
there's 3 in 1. So there you go.
Yeah.
Right, there you go. So that's a real they.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a T-shirt.
The Coeur d'Alene Arts and Culture Alliance is excited to partner with the Museum of North Idaho in a new fundraiser, the Speakeasy. Join us on Thursday, June 16th for an evening of illicit dancing, live music, gambling, raffles, and more. Come dressed to the nines for a 20s-era costume contest. Tickets include appetizers, complimentary glass of champagne or craft beer, and an old-fashioned speakeasy glass. Tickets are $75 each, or $60 if you are a member of the Arts and Culture Alliance or the museum. Your purchase ticket provides instructions and the password to enter this top-secret location. You can get information and your tickets online at artsandculturecda.org/speakeasy, or stop in the Coeur d'Alene Chamber Visitor Center or the Museum of North Idaho and purchase them in person. Callie and I will be there. We hope to see you too. Okay, so Sam, let's hear from you and stuff about the board and things that NIPA has planned.
Yeah, so we're doing a lot of strategic thinking right now in terms of at the board level. Right now, we're really trying to get funding from different agencies and foundations around the Pacific Northwest, as well as the country. Mm-hmm. So our goal is eventually to be $100,000 annual budget kind of organization. Right now we only have one part-time employee, and we'd like more employees, possibly full-time, mm-hmm. and then also an executive director. So this year, since I've been the president, we've really been going hard on fundraising, and we've been getting a lot of good traction in our community, and then in other states as well, and especially with all of the different political things going on around the country. The Don't Say Gay bill, the transgender anti-transgender sports bills, everything. We get donations from all over, which is crazy.
That's great.
Isn't that fun?
Wow. So what are the other programs that you've been a part of in the arts community? Like,
I'm going to pass it over to Jessica.
Well, as of recent, there's so many of our partners are in the arts. I think there's reasons for that. I think, obviously artists are very empathetic people, mm-hmm. and with expression, and are, loves to see different expression as well. One thing we did recently was partner with Drawn Together Arts and the Art Spirit Gallery for a special showing of a devised cabaret that took place, and we called it our Pride Cabaret Night, and we sold out, and everyone had a wonderful time.
Fun.
And to enjoy that performance. A couple years before that, we partnered with Lake City Playhouse, and they had brought in the very first time here Fun Home, which is based off the graphic novel, mm-hmm. and which was a big deal. Also, that was sold out. We also have we co-sponsor with Emerge CDA the open mic that is hosted by Willow and Coda, who are also performing at Pride in the Park. And so we try to do whatever we can. I do know that Emerge will be hosting a special event on June 10th, and we plan to be there as well. That will feature LGBTQ artists, mm-hmm. and great music for Art Walk. Mm-hmm. So we, we commission artists. We do anything we can to encourage creativity and support others that have a passion for the arts as well, and with volunteer opportunities, or just connecting them with other community partners.
So you're getting donations from all over, and that's where a lot of your funding comes from. How can somebody here locally donate?
Yeah, so we've set up our website recently to make it more user-friendly in terms of donations and on our homepage, there's a big giant donation button right at the top of the screen, as well as a few other places on the screen as well. So it's really easy. They can give small donations anytime they want. We're really trying to encourage reoccurring donations throughout the year. So a bunch of our board members currently have recurring monthly donations.
Sure.
That's nice.
And do you have a membership? Do people become members of NIPA?
We don't have a membership.
It's not a membership.
We welcome everyone to be supporters. We have hundreds of volunteers around our area and during the year.
Right. And so how could somebody get involved other than donating?
Just reaching out, coming to our events, emailing us, interacting in our social media accounts. We've got Facebook, Instagram, and then others.
And what is your website?
And what is the website?
So it's NIPridealliance.com.
NIPridealliance.com. So you can go there and you can find out more information. You can find out how to volunteer. You can donate, and you can see all of the great events that you have going on.
Yes, and our resource guide.
Oh,
yes.
And a resource guide.
Yep.
Yes.
So different businesses, providers, shops, and everything. There's just a big giant list that anyone who wants to know if there's a LGBT welcoming hairstylist or whatever they can go to the website and find someone.
Oh, that's cool.
That is very
And
cool.
a resource guide. I was thinking maybe a resource guide for young people who are still trying to figure things out.
We have a page for that for youth resources. So there are, GSA clubs. The Community Library Network hosts a wonderful Rainbow Squad that we refer quite often. And then, yes, different kind of educational resources and guides and links. And we even have a lending library as well, and have films that we recommend. So it's always growing. And actually, I think I have Arts and Culture Alliance on there because you all were so kind to donate towards one of our past raffles. So thank you. So we refer good organizations because people do come here brand new and they don't even know where to start.
Right. You mentioned earlier that you had one more event coming up, and it is Pride on the Runway?
Yes, Pride on the Runway.
All right, tell us about that a little
It's June 23rd.
Wow, you got a lot of stuff going on.
June is busy.
Yeah, so it's June 23rd. It's going to sell, or it did sell out in May.
It's already sold out.
Man.
So last year was our first year that we put it on, and we had it at the Hive, which sadly is closed now.
Oh, no.
But it was like a 60-person event, and this year we were able to have it at the Archwood Hall downtown.
Oh, yeah.
So now we've increased ticket sales, and again sold out within 2 weeks of it being live.
Oh, that's awesome.
So what is it, like modeling and
So
music?
it's basically just a giant drag show. So we have a 3-hour event.
How fun.
There's a raffle. We have different businesses coming in, helping us with food and drinks, and it's just a big, giant, fun event.
Sounds like
Oh,
it.
fun.
That's great.
Wow, you guys sound like you're really organized.
And busy.
And I love what you're doing.
Absolutely.
I think it's really,
Yeah.
I mean, we said it before, but it's definitely needed in this community. So we appreciate all of you.
Absolutely.
doing
And I
what-
will spread the word.
That's right. And the website again is NIPridealliance.com.
So what's next after June?
Go to Sandpoint Pride. Sandpoint Pride's on July 15th and the 16th, and this is our second year doing this, and it's huge, so we try to support all the different prides. Rumor is, I'm not going to spill the beans yet, but there's going to be a Wallace Pride, small, from one of our long-term community partners who has a business out there. So definitely Pride, it's not just for 1 month. There's events that happen throughout the year, and we obviously have our own kind of goals that we will continue forward with.
Wow.
I love it.
That's great.
We have 2 more shows that we forgot.
Oh.
They're not technically Pride Alliance, but they're Pride events, and they're at Honey. The drag shows on June 11th.
Oh,
and June
I heard about the
Okay.
drag show. I
so
heard
there's
they're
so
so
many
much
fun
fun.
things going on.
Yeah.
I would love to help spread it out through the year too. You know, of course, this is our big month and everybody wants to turn out for Pride. But yeah, as we go on through the year, we're excited to do a lot more stuff. So definitely encourage people to get connected and stay in touch, because there's always more to come.
Yeah. So June is Pride Month.
Yes.
June is Pride.
Yes, it is.
I get it now.
Now we
was
know
like,
why
that's
they
a
have
lot
so
in
much
June.
going on.
So many rainbows everywhere.
Wow.
Right?
I
love
mean, I
rainbows.
probably knew that, but
Yeah, this is our most ambitious Pride Month.
that's
ever.
a lot.
Right? It
That's a
sounds
lot
like
of
it.
events.
But you'd be
Ask me
surprised.
after June 23rd, you know how I feel. But
You should see at the meetings, though. I mean, we had a meeting a month ago, and we were all kind of twiddling our thumbs while Jessica was able to go out of town. Sam ran the meeting. We were all just like, "Look, we've got it all figured out."
Did it?
But is everyone good? Okay, we can go home.
That's
so
great.
it's really been great, and we've had so many volunteers come out, and that's really the heart of the organization. That's how I got involved. In the beginning, I met Julie at Pride on the Runway, and she was leaving, and I was like, "Oh, there's a gap here. I'm gonna, see what I can do," and that's how people get involved, and we get
great.
bigger every year.
I love it.
awesome.
I love it. Well, we thank you very
So
much for
much.
being here and talking to us. And I've learned a little bit.
I did too, and
Yeah.
I can't wait to spread the word.
Fantastic. Tell everyone, June is Pride Month.
June,
is Pride Month.
will. So
And
thank you
it's
so
he,
much.
she, and they.
He, she, and they.
And Z.
Yes.
And Z.
I know. Depends on who you are. Yeah.
That's right.
All right.
So I'm Allie.
And I'm Callie. And whatever you do today, make sure it's creative.
And go hug somebody.
Please.
Yeah.
Because love is love.
The Allie and Callie Artcast is a program of the Coeur d'Alene Arts and Culture Alliance and is sponsored by NIA, North Idaho Alliance, a women-based leadership organization designed to inspire, uplift, and impact your community and lives. And Tubbs Coffee Roasters, globally sourced, locally roasted coffee.